No, Yamcha. Take off your gi, put on your normal people clothes, and sit back because, and I am sorry to say this, but it is retirement time right next to Master Roshi. Throughout Dragon Ball, we have seen so many others call it quits, and Goku and Vegeta have cleaned up shop perfectly fine without you and the others. Your reasons for retiring have varied, but it was the right call. I mean, look at Jiren. The power! But if that's not enough of a reminder, maybe the rest of this video will jog your memory of why you and the other Z fighters retired. So, like we mentioned, a bunch of Dragon Ball characters have ended up retiring over the years, much earlier than they should have, like Yamcha, Tien, and Krillin at one point, and others, which is super strange. In a world where fists rather than words have been used to solve all of the universe's problems, what would make someone want to retire from the life of getting her face beat in? It's not like these guys are weak or anything. Well, let's look through Dragon Ball history and find our answer. When we were first introduced to the world of Dragon Ball, Goku was a youngling, an incredibly strong youngling, but a kid nonetheless. Villains weren't like they are today, carrying the power of gods, but other martial artists looking to compete and prove their strength. Folks like Tien, Yamcha, Krillin, and Master Roshi were the cream of the crop, displaying inhuman speed, strength, and resilience, giving Goku a chance and allowing him to overcome his limits over time. Now, this wasn't always the case. Over time, Goku's adversaries weren't other martial artists, but the military itself. But together, the Z Fighters took on the likes of the Red Ribbon Army and crushed them. Time after time, our heroes prevailed, but that began to change when King Piccolo showed up to town. Master Roshi, Chaozu, and Krillin all lost their lives, but hey, no worries, they were all wished back by the Dragon Balls, so all is good. However, since King Piccolo and sequentially Piccolo Jr., things haven't been the same. Let's look at the Saiyan saga for instance. Goku and Piccolo barely stood a chance against Raditz, forcing the Z Fighters to train like tomorrow wasn't promised. Each one of them pushed their body to the limit and overcame said limits. When it came time to put their training in action, though, what was the result? Yamcha was caught off guard by a Cyberman. Chaozu barely put a scratch on Nappa. Tien's strongest attack was only almost enough to stop the bald-headed Saiyan, and Piccolo stood no chance. In the Frieza saga, once Frieza was done playing games, Krillin became nothing more than bits and pieces, and Piccolo had a hole put in his chest. Not much time after Yamcha was revived by the Dragon Balls, he was impaled by nothing more than a hand. Not a ki blast, a hand! Moving into Dragon Ball Super, the scale in power has been nothing but extraordinary as we dive into godlike powers and abilities. What is someone like Yamcha supposed to do against that? Not much, which is why so many have decided to pack it up. In every saga, the scale in power has increased at a rate that I can't even fathom, and those like Tien, Yamcha, and Krillin just can't keep up. They've become nothing more than support to hold off whoever they're fighting until Goku can make the save. They don't have the ability to turn Super Saiyan or have a hidden potential unlocked by the Kais. They're just normal humans who are the strongest of just that, humans. This is the exact reason why Master Roshi hung it up. Seeing Goku and Tien's level of power, he accepted that the next generation had surpassed him, so by the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai, he is done. Also, who wants to lose their life over and over again? Krillin got lucky that the Namekian Dragon Balls could bring him back, because if they didn't have them, he would have to get nice and comfy in the other world. I mean, what would you do? Lead your life with pride and end up in the other world, or give it up and let Goku and Vegeta have their fun? I know what I'd choose. Hanging it up because you no longer can meet the standard is noble, and I commend those who have. However, a lack of power isn't the only reason why Dragon Ball characters have called it quits. So I generalized a little bit when I said everyone retired because they couldn't keep up with the power curve and completely glossed over their personal reasons for wanting to stop fighting. So, let's dive into that. What is the reason that people change professions or take time away from something they love? Usually, it's to try something new, or something new comes into their lives that gives them so much more gratification, like love. Oh, isn't that sweet? It's the exact decision Krillin and Android 18 made once they decided to settle down and start a family. For someone whose life was changed forever when she was transformed into an android against her will, settling down makes so much sense. This wasn't the life she wanted, and all it got her was being devoured and then regurgitated by Cell, for crying out loud. That kind of trauma? I'm done. No, thank you. Who wouldn't want a normal life after that? And for Krillin, settling down makes sense too. I talked about the huge divide when it comes to power, but that fact has never really slowed Krillin down. He has always been the first to step up. However, he's already been sent to the other world twice, which is more than enough to reconsider life choices. I think he made the right choice to grow the hair out. As soon as Krillin locked eyes on his lover, his heart was hers. He even risked the fate of the Earth to save her. So, giving up the ways of a monk? Good decision. Speaking of love, another prime example of a fighter finding something more than fighting is Gohan. Now I know, Gohan not living up to his potential, our expectations, or the legacy left by the spiky-haired Saiyan boils a lot of blood for Dragon Ball fans. However, we have to give Gohan his just due. While academia was pushed on Gohan by Chi-Chi, we can all tell Gohan loves it and is following his passion to be a scholar despite Goku's and our hopes. I think we could all take a note from that book. Happiness should come first no matter what anyone else thinks. Now, it's great that some found happiness elsewhere, but that's not the case for everyone. Tien was someone who, despite the steep curve, kept trying to keep up with Goku no matter what, even though he knew he wouldn't ever catch up. Sadly, that changed after the Cell Saga and Goku's sacrifice. Once the Cell games came to an end, Tien told the Z-Warriors that they would likely never see him again, and for the next 7 years, they didn't. His departure almost felt like he lost his purpose in life. The loss of Goku made him lose his love for the art, so he chose a life of quiet and peace. The same reasoning can go for future Trunks as well. After years of torment and grief, he finally defeated the androids of his time. Although we don't see what he's up to, it's likely that up to the time of the Goku Black Saga, Trunks didn't have a need to fight anymore, choosing to live in the peace he fought so hard for. At least he had a reason to retire. The sad truth for character retirements is the most meta of answers. They just no longer fit the show's narrative. If we were to go back through Dragon Ball, there are so many characters who just disappeared without a trace or reason. With every arc, a character who was once prominent in the series gets reduced to nothing more than a jobber, and then poof, they're gone. At some point, we'll see them give Goku their energy, but other than that, we're not given any context to why they hung it up. It's such a sad way to go, but like all Dragon Ball deaths, no one is gone forever. As Dragon Ball Super has shown, just because you're retired doesn't mean Goku can't rip you from your life and drag you back into the fight. Pretty much every fighter of prominence, except Yamcha, has returned to the martial arts life and have held their own against Earth's threats, like Beerus in some capacity, the Frieza Force, and even showed out in the Tournament of Power. Heck, it was Android 17 who won the whole thing. Even Master Roshi is back in the game. It makes me think of who else could return one day. Maybe Android 16? Wait. Android 16 isn't alive, right? Although it's not confirmed, there is a theory out there that the nature-loving android was actually brought back by the Dragon Balls, along with everyone else who fell at the hands of Cell. Now, I know most fans say that isn't possible because 16 was never human, but look at Android 8. 8 is purely robotic like 16 and was destroyed when Boo wrecked the Earth. However, as we saw in a brief cameo, 8 was alive and kicking once he was revived with the Earth by the Dragon Balls. So, if 8 can do it, why not 16? It's likely that, like everyone else, his story was complete and was written out of existence. There's so much Toriyama could do with this character, though. So if he is alive, chilling in a forest somewhere, appreciating nature, the door's wide open to step your way out of retirement. Oh, and next on my come out of retirement list is Master Shen. Now, Shen and his brother Mercenary Tao has caused a lot of trouble for our Z fighters, but did give us Tien and Chaozu. Now, the problem with this come out of retirement dream is that it's not exactly clear if he's actually alive. Apparently, he and Tao got into a bit of trouble in a deal gone wrong, and we all know what happens when a deal goes wrong. Wink wink, nudge nudge. At the same time though, Dragon Ball Online has said otherwise, and that he may be out there. Maybe to avoid tracking him down, I should take him off my dream list and add, I don't know, King Chappa? Nah. Honestly, I just want to see him take on Roshi because as we saw, Roshi has still got it. That rivalry may have ended years ago, but Has it? Last and not least on my must-come-out-of-retirement wish list is none other than Mr. Wolfgang Fist himself, Yamcha. I know, I bashed him pretty good in the intro, but truly, he deserves so much more than he's been given. He didn't show much promise in Dragon Ball Z, but from the days of Dragon Ball, that's a whole different story. Yamcha had the most potential and promise to be a great martial artist due to his knowledge of the art form. His passion was spectacular, and he received heavy praise from the Turtle Hermit himself. Now, of course, Yamcha isn't going to take on Jiren in a head-to-head fight, but with some training, he'll be right back in the game with Krillin and the others who show that they're not to be taken lightly. Yamcha has shown that he wants back in, too. In Super, Yamcha waited patiently for his invite to the Tournament of Power, but was ignored and left behind. So, maybe in the future we'll get a bit of a redemption arc? Now, I'm sure there'll be plenty of fear and self-doubt in his first fight in years, but surely he'll overcome that. He just needs the chance and for somebody to believe in him. So, Yamcha, if you're watching this video, your moment is now. All the fans are waiting and we believe in you, so go and take your shot! Aw, Yamcha, not again! Dude, come on! Man, I just spent like 2 minutes building you up and... man! Dang it, Yamcha. Well, DBZ fans, are you tired of Goku and Vegeta hogging all the glory? If so, I want to know who you want to see come out of retirement, so let us know down in the comments. Also, be sure to like this video, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a CBR video. See you next time!